Massive winter storms blow hard and heavy over the Pacific Ocean, gathering moisture. These cold, wet storms line up one after another and then collide into the high Sierra Nevada mountains.
Backcountry travel should be avoided. Widespread long-running avalanches are being observed.
We don't have a lot of wind loading, but there's certainly that lot less dense layer about 16 inches down, and what's sitting on top of that's pretty dense, so be really careful out there today.
History teaches us valuable lessons. A late season storm and avalanches that followed surprised Lake Tahoe resorts in 1982. The National Ski Patrol and mountain rescue teams were called in to dig out what was left of the Alpine Meadows Ski Lodge. For skiers who stick to the patrolled boundaries and groomed runs of a ski resort, avalanches pose very little danger. To the men and women of the National Ski Patrol and Avalanche Control teams, it's their love of the mountains and the great outdoors that brings them to the ski resorts. But it's their dedication to safety and constant vigilance that makes recreational skiing a safe sport for us all.
Here at Mammoth Mountain, where we do avalanche control anytime we get more than 6 inches of snow, the risk to the skiing public is drastically reduced as compared to skiing in the backcountry somewhere, especially with fresh snow, at least within the first 48 hours. We deal with a lot of skier compaction, so risks are very minimal.
We get up, we're at work 5:30 on avalanche days, we're out the door at 6, we're out in the mountain before it's even begin to get light. We're starting our routes. We're beginning to throw some bombs, shake up the snowpack, cause some avalanches, and hopefully stabilize it for the public so they can rip it up with wild abandon.
Corkscrew shot, we're gonna head over to break it out.
Darn packs don't get any lighter.
The silence of winter was broken in Oda, Norway, when the snowpack erupted with the sound of thunder, traveling downhill at speeds of up to 80 miles per hour, flattening trees and crushing buildings in its path. History reminds us to keep vigilant against the forces of nature.
It does take time to do our control work, and so the primary risk would be for a skier to go into a marked closed area. Then they're in an area which has not necessarily been controlled and is not being patrolled by us, and at that point they're on their own in a way.
You really don't know what's going on at first until you start noticing the snow around you moving.
It's pretty terrifying as it starts to solidify like concrete. You can't move. And when you're under, you can hear people talking on the surface, and they can't hear you no matter how loud you scream.
Fortunately for Jeff Engerbretson, it was early in the season with a light snowpack. He made a safe recovery that time.
The type of people that enjoy this type of work are pretty much outdoors people. They like being outside, they like being in the elements. They don't like sitting behind a desk in an office 8 hours a day. And they like a little edge of danger in their life, a little excitement. It really makes life exciting. must admit, it is a pretty extreme job, and it's not for everybody. But if you do have the willpower and the strength to go for it, it's real exciting and really fulfilling.
There's a certain jazz to be had of making a 4 to 5 foot fracture, or a 10-foot fracture just rip out in front of you and just cascade down the slopes with a large plume of snow, and just watching it taking out trees and whatever may be in its path. That's certainly a jazz.
You can't take chances with avalanches. You can't let the public take chances with avalanches. We don't allow for chances.
The extremist goes